flashbacks to Castaway at all when you were filming this?
Nah, I did not. One. See, I'll tell you one thing. I did not have to get wet. That was a big thing. Other people did. Sully stayed dry, other than up to his waist.
And the last time I spoke to you, you said you put £100 on Leicester to win the Premier League. What did you spend your winnings on?
No. You know what? I took that and put it right on Aston Villa in order to make it up into the bigs.
Are you hoping to see them play a bit more in the UK now?
I'd love to. Look, I thought I knew this story, and when I heard that Clint Eastwood was going to make a movie about it, I said, well, is it going to be 208 seconds long? Because that's how long the flight was. What else are we going to build into this thing? Then Todd Komarnicki's screenplay, it was Act 2 and Act 3 that I did not know. And nonfiction entertainment is tricky, because by and large, anybody with access to Google can figure out what really happened in your story ripped right out of the history books or today's headlines, and they can find out the end of the plot. But they don't find out the end of the story. And the story here, which I found out along with everybody else, was what Sully and Jeff Skiles and Laurie and everybody, his wife, went through in the long process of the standard investigative process that has to occur anytime something like an aviation accident occurs. What was unique is that the pilot and the co-pilot were present. A lot of times these are crashes in which nobody survives. And because they were there, they had to answer a lot of questions from the sublime to the ridiculous about, explain to us again how this $150 million airplane landed in the water. Explain how we lost that again. And they had to do it over and over again. And during that period of time, they had no idea as to whether they would be exonerated or found at fault or celebrated, or they had no idea if they were going to lose their jobs or not, and be made pariahs in the industry and in the world that they loved. You know what he shaved? So that he would stop getting recognized. He needed some anonymity, so getting rid of the mustache helped out. Look, I think heroes are people who voluntarily put themselves in harm's way, and I think by that criterion, you could say anybody who flies an airplane for a living cheats death somehow. They stand up in front of 140-odd people who are jammed into those seats and says, I know, we'll be in the air for 3.5 hours, don't worry, I'll get you there. That is somebody who takes on a responsibility that is, bigger than the average job, the requirements. That he was able to utilize that instinct and expertise that came from really just the 40 years of experience that is, for which there is no substitute for. I think it's extraordinary. And it's not just the act, but it's also the cost. It's also what he went through, afterwards. And that is something that I think I think any human being can react to it. Your average human being wouldn't know what to do in the cockpit of a plane. I'll take care of that, and that's the fun stuff. That's really cool. But everything else that comes along after that, I think, to their audience members says, well, I wonder what I would do if I was in those same circumstances. And that's what gets me going as an actor.